Hello?
Hello, hello. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, hello, man.
Good. So you didn't mention whether you wanted it on stream or off. So I have it on right now. If for some reason you need it off, I can turn it off. But
Oh, cool with me, man. It's cool
cool,
with me.
sweet. All right. So I read your thing briefly. You played some melee before, which is pretty sweet. I used to play melee.
Yeah,
And
pretty much
then
that's it.
yeah, and then you went to Tekken 7. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, my computer's freaking out. Okay, be good. Yeah. So who'd you play in melee?
I played Falco, mainly because he had the sickest down air.
Yeah,
Other
I
than
feel
that,
that.
yeah.
Feel that one. Yeah. How far did you like play melee? Did you like enter tournaments, things like that, or?
Yeah, so I mean, it was pretty casual. I've gone to Genesis since, man, like Genesis 5 probably,
Okay,
but I
cool.
didn't take it too seriously. I never entered like locals or anything. I just practiced like on my own.
I gotcha. Yeah, the last thing I went to was Genesis 3, so bit before, but otherwise, yeah. And then 2021 Tekken. And is Tekken 7 kind of similar? Do you go to locals or anything, or mainly just by yourself?
Yes, I sparingly go to locals because I started in COVID, so we didn't really have locals for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do go to locals. Oh man, not too often. Like maybe like once every couple months. Sometimes I'll be more free and I'll go like twice a month, something like that. But um, I do try.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. All right. So you're looking to improve outside of just studying frame and attack data, but trouble identifying my own bad habits. When facing worse players, I'm getting run over. Facing better players, I get outpaced. Coverage short of the knowledge. Okay, cool. We can start by just playing some, and we'll feel it out, and then I can start going from there. I made an open lobby. Feel free to find it and join. Let me know if you can't find it.
Headphones and shit.
Sorry.
So I'm just looking for headphones and stuff.
Oh, no worries, no worries.
All right. That's pretty good.
Is this you?
Yeah, it's me.
Cool. Okay. Make sure. Is there a matchup you're particularly super familiar with, or like,
I would say probably Kazuya.
okay,
I think everyone plays Cass.
I can do that.
Welcome to the King of Iron
Should
Fist
I just go main?
Tournament
Is that
7.
probably the best idea?
Sorry.
Kazuya Mishima.
Should I just do mains? Is that
Yeah,
probably the
yeah,
best
yeah. You
idea?
should definitely pick your main. Yeah.
Okay.
You pick your main, and depending on where you're at, I definitely recommend like solo maining all the way to like as high as you can go. I don't recommend
Okay.
splitting your time.
Get ready for the next battle.
No, I've been like playing like a lot more characters lately.
Mhm.
I think maybe that's why because I feel like that's as high as I can go. You
Yeah.
know.
Round 1. Fight.
Nope. fair. Oh no.
Ah, I'm a little cold, but I think that would have killed, right?
Yeah, you had me for sure. You had me for sure.
Okay.
Fight.
Oh nice.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it worked there.
Oh damn, that traded.
You win. Get ready for the next battle.
Uni, oh, Uni, thank you for the resub, and Yorson, thanks for the resub. LCQ is good. Let me see. Ved, thank you for the resub, and Future Beats, thanks for the resub, guys. Appreciate that. I'll see if I can get the alerts working. Audio's not coming out for me either.
Round 1. Fight.
Hmm. Oh shit.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
You set that? Maybe do that.
KO. Round 4. Fight.
Oops.
Oh, damn it.
Oh my god. Oh, nice work punish.
KO.
I thought that down forward 1-2. The wall was with punish too.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
The nerfs, man. I actually picked up this character after seeing Arslan win 2019 Evo,
Yeah.
thinking she was hella busted.
He's really good for getting good on though.
whenever I play a game, I usually try to like find top tier. But I didn't do a whole lot of research when I bought this one.
Mhm.
Round one. Fight.
Oops.
Good luck. Great.
Nice block.
KO. Round two. Fight.
Oh no! Only did that one time. What the hell?
KO. Round three. Fight.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay. Imagine I did it.
Nice.
KO. Round four. Fight.
That one. I don't know why I can't do that right now.
Oops.
KO. Final round. Fight.
What? Man.
Oops.
Oh, what? That was 4-2. Should work. No!
Oh.
Alright, I die.
Oh my god!
No! Oh man, I've been playing a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Core circle forward 3, like long range low. I was like, how do I get in? How do I win?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
All right, so let's look at a few things. So I'll pull up the replay and share my screen. But like in the meantime, talk to me what like the set felt like and what you were thinking about while we were playing.
I've never seen Akazuya. I don't know. I guess I play different ones like that.
Yeah.
Do so many electrics. Most of them aren't that good. I feel like a lot of them. I was looking for like, back 1-2s, down 1+2s, things like that.
Oh, you were waiting
what
for
I'm
like punishable shit, things like that.
Yeah. So yeah. So then I think that happened to me in bracket once too, where I was playing Heihachi, and then I was not practicing, but like I was researching like a lot of his like setups, like
Round
forward
one.
3 setup stuff, like punch parry stuff.
Mhm.
And then I kind of realized that she just kept throwing electrics at me, and I really didn't know what to do. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, this is like Mega Plus and like stuff like that. Then if you start doing that, I start like ducking a lot because that's really all I really know what to do.
Yeah.
I think that my sidestepping's like not great. The only reason why I like playing Kaz is that like everyone kind of knows is walking to the left.
Yeah.
But like I've been like clipped a lot, just like hitting buttons without confirming shit.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
Round two.
so I just duck now. I know it's like not the most whip punishable, but that's the best I got.
I mean, you got a couple good whiff punishes on my electric with forward forward 2, and then
Yeah, but like when you duck them, like you can't really while, especially Shizumi for while standing like twos.
you could just take the while standing 4-4. It's better to take anything.
Yeah,
the idea is that you're just turning off electric as the option that he would want to use.
Yeah.
So
Round
yeah.
3.
I know Arslan does like a while standing one, like instant while standing one a lot. I haven't used that yet, but I've like noted. I know it's like out.
Yeah, that's a good option too. So I'm trying to find this combo that keeps dropping. You can see my screen, yeah?
Yeah. I have a handful or something.
Oh my
Don't
god.
blame it.
My graphics card is freaking out. I don't know.
KO. Round 4.
Also, I didn't feel like he hell sweep a whole lot. I think in my
yeah.
rankings, Kazuya is just like hell sweep, like they get paid for it.
I didn't feel like I had to get damage on you. Like, because you would kind of play into the electric, I felt like I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Or because you were, oh my god. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, okay, so
All good, man.
you need a down forward one before the laser scraper. Sorry, you there? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to see.
Yeah, so here.
Oh, okay. Before the back 1+2 or back forward,
Off of
back,
while standing 2.
back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist, Kazun Kazuya Mishima. Get ready for the next battle.
So. Right, instead of you just do this, it never works. Or it can work, I guess. Oh, sorry. This can work, but you might be a little late on yours.
Okay.
But the down forward one stabilizes it really nicely. You just lose a combo hit, so you probably have to do fly 3+4 like that. I'll double check for you, since I guess this is my job. I should probably help you out with this. Let me see. But yeah, I think so against Kazuya, right? If you're playing against like a hell sweep heavy, like mix up heavy Kazuya, you have immense control as Kazumi, right? Like this shit goes so far, and you can hit them out of hell sweep, right? So you have a lot of ability to shut down what they want, like their freestyle offense. So the only thing Kazuya could do is try and find like an electric on your jab timing, or try and like get a preemptive whiff punish on a jab or something. But when you're doing this, it's actually really hard for Kazuya to play around. I had to run up and do this.
Yeah, I've heard that before, where Kazuya's kind of slow, so like
Yeah.
jab checking a lot. I've played with Kazuya's. I mean, I guess like the people I play. The only reason why I know Kazuya like as well as I do is because I like play him. So like if I play that way, I get stuck like pretty easily, and I get to a distance. So I've always tried to play like, especially in general, when I don't know what's going on. I think I've just kind of gotten into the habit of like trying to play with punish game. But the higher you go, like people don't with as often. So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm playing like pretty passive.
No, so I think you're on the right track. So there's like a certain level where whiffs happen for free, right? Then there's
Right.
a certain level where you play and attack and poke and things like that, and your offense makes them want to retaliate, and that's where you find whiffs, right? So against Kazumi, stronger players will probably whiff less against Kazumi because they know that in order to keeping out her jab is pretty hard, right? So what you saw me do is I would run up and do like down 4, or run up and do down 3, right?
Yeah.
So that, even though that counters your jab, it's for very tiny reward and like moderately high, like medium risk, because if all you have to do is low parry and then this turns into a combo, right? So that's one thing. The other thing is, you mentioned against jab, they were instant ducking twin pistons.
Yeah.
If they have to commit to an option like that just to beat your jab, you're winning. And what I mean by
I
that
see.
is, yeah, like if they're committing to that just because they saw you do this, all that turns into jab block, and all of a sudden they do the twin piston and you get a punish, right? So So you get launched once, but you've learned so much about what they're willing to do, and what they're willing to do is die. You know. So.
And I think I don't know if you noticed, but I never threw out a down back 4, which I think is like everyone says like, oh, it's like one of the best lows in the game, or it's Kazumi's best low, something like that.
I did not see many lows, if at all.
Right. All I could do is like down 3, because of how long range and high crushes and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of know why, but whenever I play better players, that low to me feels so slow that it's almost reactable. Because I mean I know when it's coming out because I'm hitting the button.
Yeah.
But to me it feels, I know it's like 20 frames, which is like pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean it's like, but to me it always feels reactable or like I get counter hit.
So
I just never do it.
Yeah, so the stature kick works best when you know you've frozen your opponent. Right? Like all your jabs are always hitting, your down forward ones are hitting, so like they feel like they have no choice but to stand still and try to find a different timing. Then the stature kick hits them and they're like, well shit, now I got this low to deal with, right? So that's how it works. I made a lobby again.
Okay.
I'll play Kazumi against you also. We'll fill that one out.
I don't know if I ever fought a Kazumi. No one plays her anymore.
Welcome to the King of Iron Fist tournament, Kazumi Mishima. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Oops. Nice block.
What? But I'm about to do the same shit to you, man. Dude, that always works.
KO. Round 2. Fight.
Wow, plus 11. What the hell?
Oops.
Maybe I'm just bad. Bro, I'll go for that.
KO. Round 3. Fight.
Ooh, God.
Oh, nice.
Oh. What? My arm's so short, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I should have just fucking done the rage. I can't imagine I didn't.
I'm actually not sure. I'm not positive.
Get ready for the next battle.
You tell me that down back four is slow as fuck.
Round 1. Fight.
Oh, nice.
Best of the game. 4-4. Go. Oh, best of the
Oh my
game.
god.
Oh, damn it.
I've never seen that counter hit.
I know. I actually didn't even know. I didn't even know I had one.
Oh. Cool.
No. Oh man, remember.
Oh, damn. I ducked. Ah, nice, nice.
Round 3. Fight.
What? I'm working on those.
Perfect. Round 4.
Oh wait,
Fight.
is that me?
No, I think it's me. My computer's freaking out. Who knows why? I mean, I do know why. It's because I'm streaming. Jesus. Sorry, my graphics card is like full freezing. I don't want to get a new one, but I might have to.
God, this gap.
So, are you
Wasn't on full
noticing?
screen.
Are you noticing me finding some whiffs in situations where?
Yeah, I noticed just a couple backdashes, and then my 1-1s aren't like kind of pushing me forward enough.
Yeah, and what's the situation, if you can tell, right before that's like leading to the whiff punish?
Am I just like, I don't know, am I mashing one too much? I'm trying to, maybe I should dash forward up.
Yeah,
Kind of.
so it's good thing to put your attention on, right? So what's happening is we're at like range maybe 2 or maybe 3, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm doing like a double forward dash or a single forward dash, right?
Mhm.
And that action forward is making you want to jab in response, right? So once I noticed that, I would dash in and then just back dash out right away, and then the jabs would whiff, and then I'd find my opportunity, right? So and the only reason my dash up is scary, right, is because there's the down forward 1, there's the down back forward, there's jabs, right? So like there's an offense you don't want to deal with, so you attempt to keep out, and the whiff punish comes in response to the keep out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to necessarily be gigantic whiffs in neutral just from you backdashing, although that's going to happen for sure. There's also the element of creating an offense that your opponent doesn't want to deal with, so that they want to mash keep out, so that you get your whiff punish, right?
Right.
And it's not necessarily that you're going to play in a way with that intent. It's more you need to see how the dynamics interact, so that when it does happen, you have the counter ready, right? The counter to keep out is whiff punish. The counter to somebody waiting for a whiff punish is you mix them up, right? Which is the problem you mentioned you were kind of dealing with, is people just going in and mixing you up, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. So that's how it all interacts. So let's play some more and see how it feels. But yeah, a big part of it is I'm not afraid to just backdash against you, because
King of Iron Fist
the only low that's hitting me is out of the is either down 3 in neutral, right, or the fly stance into the hell sweep, right?
Mhm.
And by
Right.
the time I've done my pokes, my whiff punishes, and everything else, I will just straight up win. So I don't have to care
right.
about the damage your lows are doing to me, because I'm winning the damage race,
Mhm.
right?
And that's like, I think I mentioned that like in my little blurb. I feel like it outpaced a lot when I play better players.
Yeah, and part of that is that if you're not threatening any lows, you're just gonna lose more interactions while not being able to keep up in the damage. So the low is reactable, but there are timing games you can play, and there are mids you can mix it up with, and you could choose to do nothing, right? So there's other options. But if you're always doing forward, 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 I'm not really afraid because I can just stand block. Because now if I choose not to punch you at all, I can't get counter hit. You can't while standing 2 my shit. And I can just backdash and find a whiff punish or a counter hit, right?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Damn it.
Time up.
Wait, I didn't even lose the clock.
Round 2.
Yeah, clock is a big part of the game too, because
I thought you were trying to like teach me something.
bit of both. Oh shit! Ow! Oh no!
Oh no, it was Rayguard.
Great.
Oh, no. I actually didn't think that would hit me.
Round
That
3.
was far enough.
Fight.
Are you mashing too, man? That's mashing.
Yes, sir.
Ah, if I do a duck. Jesus Christ. Oh, I had one thing. Only had one thing. Alright. What?
You win.
Yeah, so because I have not only because you told me, but because I'm like in the sets we played, I could see that like you're not willing to down back 4, or like you do a couple down 3s. I have no incentive to abandon my stand block game plan. Right? So I backdash. The backdash is kind of incidental. Like I could just stay in your face and just stand block, but I choose to backdash because it forces you to let go of the block button to hit forward.
You know, I feel like I end up in that situation a lot when I play better characters, right? Where,
Yeah.
like they get the lead, right? I'm losing the ground game a little
Mhm.
bit. Because he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Her lows kind of suck.
Mm-hmm.
And then they not necessarily like they turtle. I don't think I've played like a real turtle, regular turtle, but they do like I have to like chase, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So let's try this. Let's try this. You take a 50% health lead on me, and then you try running away and see how I counter that. Right?
Okay. Should I pick infinite?
It doesn't matter. Infinite's easier probably, but up to you.
Yeah, it's pretty close to it.
Get ready for the next battle.
And I feel like that's why like I've been playing other characters that
Mhm.
just have more annoying clothes.
Also, I'm sorry, I didn't realize we started half an hour early. I was so
It honestly doesn't matter. I was already awake.
I was so confident that it was on the hour. I was like, all right, gotta get prepared, gotta get ready. All right, so you take.
1.
Take-
I'll just jab you.
Fight.
All right, so now you try to defend against me, right?
Gonna beat you.
And you can keep out too. You can keep out too. I'm just saying, like, Like, see how I try to make the
What are
comeback.
you gonna do about that? Yeah. He's like, oh, see that? Man, no.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Cooking. Oh shit! I swung.
KO.
Same thing.
Round 2. Fight.
That's good.
Hmm.
Equals all day.
Right, right. That's what. So you don't want your opponent to think that against you. You don't want them to think like, oh, I could eat these all day, you know?
No.
Oops, I'm bad.
I get you.
Oh. Uh oh.
No.
Round 3.
Same thing.
Fight.
Oh shit. I'm ass. Oops.
Oh, I thought I was gonna let this jab.
KO. Round 4. Fight.
Same thing.
Oh, great, sorry.
No worries. It's locked in. I get it. It's cool.
Yeah. Oh.
Oops.
Acceptable. Should have known.
Oh shit. Nice whip punish.
No, what? That did you push that? No fucking way.
Oh, I died. I was so convinced. I was convinced.
Final round.
They're down 3 to kill.
Fight.
Oh, sorry. Oh, it's fine. We'll play it.
Okay, yeah, we'll better beat you up.
Oh,
Like you did, bud.
nice.
Back all. No. Oh, I was rage guarding.
So, in the 2 games that, the 2 rounds where you gave me the lead and then I came back, did you see how I was doing it?
I'm trying to think.
It's
I feel
okay.
like you
It's
just
okay.
Run up, down I feel like you run up down 3 a lot until
Yeah.
I get annoyed enough to eat it while running 2.
Right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you don't have to do enough lows to kill your opponent. You do enough lows to get them to fuck up. So
Right.
so either they are, in your case, so like there was one game where I did a couple down 3s and then you ran up and did a down forward 2 on my block, right? So it's like, okay,
Right.
so that's free. Or in some cases you duck for the raw running 2, or you duck for like a run up delay down forward 1, you know, that kind of thing. So like the lows exist. The lows have multiple purposes. 1, it breaks your opponent's stand guard, right? And then 2, if your opponent is absolutely adamant about stand guarding only, then it kills them.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the
I
go ahead.
try to think. I feel like, man, if I was good though, I could just stand guard all day and literally react. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. So that works for a lot of cases. And for the cases where you can't react, you can
Welcome to the King of Iron
develop
Fist
fuzzy guard
Tournament.
timings that make it really hard for your opponent to run up and hit you. Right? So there are lows that are unreactable, right? but say that in your backdash timing, you have it built in where you see them close the gap, like a Kazuya or something, and your duck comes out at the hell sweep timing. Right? So
Right.
you can set it up so your default offense and defense has big problems for them to deal with, right? Like kind of like when you wake up, your
Right.
low parry timing is built well to beat my down back 4. So that's not unbeatable.
Round
Instead, it creates a situation that I have to play around, and your defense can become the same way. So not every low is going to be reactable, but you're going to be able to play in a way where it's going to be really hard to hit somebody low without getting low parried, right? Like if I'm running up like this and you try to down 3 me, I have low parries like built into that, right?
Not really.
Yeah, but I'm bad at it. So I'm bad at it. But there are players who are really good at this shit. Like you watch Glaciating or Speed Kicks play, they're like super into like super good fuzzy defense. Knee, obviously.
I feel like I remember I was watching Evo 2019, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some rounds where like Arslan literally blocks every low that he had,
Yeah,
and I was like, man, if you do that, you play anyone, man. Jesus Christ.
yeah. So Arslan
Right.
Arslan has like a really good defense as well, right? But like a lot of that on the unseeable ones is fuzzy timing. Although against I think the stature kicks, Arslan is I can't say if he's seeing it or not, but that dude is cracked.
I was like, man, I thought the character was good, but he was just good. I was like, he's playing.
But the reason down back 4 should hit, see how you did a fuzzy and then let go?
Yeah.
I'm like aiming for that. So like I aim for the moment where you're letting go of the block. And then if you're choosing to still react like that, then I could do a different timing low. I could like hit you sooner than the down back 4. I could go unreactable. I could wait for you to finish and then do it.
I did happen again.
Yeah. So there's lots of games you can play with the low outside of just doing the low, right?
Round
Mm-hmm.
3.
Or if I walk up and do nothing and you're constantly
Well, if I
looking.
get smashed though.
Yeah,
What
exactly,
if I get
exactly.
Smashed in your face then. Huh?
So that's another counter to the mix-up. You don't want to deal with the mix-up, so you just mash. And then if you do that every time, I'll find a whiff punish. A mass, but you know what I mean.
There you go. They don't have to eat that much. I do this. Oh, fuck out.
Oops, I'm at. So like the so without the lows in your kit, forward 4 just becomes surrendered advantage, right? You're just telling me, okay, your turn, you know. But if I'm guessing between this and forward 4, then it's a launch threat that's safe. But without that, it's just like, okay, well, your turn, you get to play now.
I think people just duck the reason in my ring.
That is also probably likely. But like you were saying, against the better
I've
players.
always felt like the 4 wasn't the few people. I feel like this is one.
Sorry.
I feel like ones have gotten people to duck more for me than
Yeah, so a lot of better players will just hold the jab. They don't even feel like the need to duck it
Yeah.
until they really, really need it, you know? So the jab will get some people to duck, but like the more solid the players, they'll just hold the jab and play the disadvantage and just chill. Some will try to like move around it, shit like that. Like it depends on the player. But as we're talking about better and better players,
Get ready for the next battle.
you either have to down back 4 there, like to get them to do something else, or just down 3. Down 3 is really good too, for sure. But down 3 creates like a reset situation where the down 3 pushes
but
back.
It's
right?
what it's like safe. So
Yeah, down 3 is fantastic.
Yeah.
I love down 3. But the situation's different, right? So if you're playing against somebody who's like only stand guarding, right? Then down 3 puts them in their comfortable position, because after down 3 there's no like threat after. We're like here, we're
yeah.
just chilling, right? But after down by 4, you're in my face and you have to deal with, if you move I can hit you, if you sit still I can mix you up again, right? So the situation from down back 4 is different. So that's the reason the lows have so many cool purposes, is not only is it like medium speed, right? Like medium fast. So it creates timing mix-ups with this and with this and with this. It also has a different on-hit situation. So your opponent is going to respond differently than in this situation, where it pushes us back and we can kind of go back to playing, you know?
Round 2. Fight.
I feel like when I land a down back 4, I don't know. I just like all I know to do is either just keep them, one of these or just do it again.
Yeah, so try stepping after down back 4 hits you. So this tracks that way, try stepping the other way. So against most characters, there's exceptions with DLC, but down by 4-1-1 is like a movement trap. So your opponent can't do anything. So it creates another situation, right? Where if they are trying to move around your down forward 1, because down forward 1 is step to the right, running 2 is step to the left. So you have mids that threaten both ways, although this mid is a bit harder to do. You have mids that threaten both ways, and then you have a move that locks an opponent from moving. So if this happens and they try to move, this locks them down. This happens and they don't try to move, now you have a mid-low mix, right? Like mid, mid, low, 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 right? So that's how you can play the down back 4 situation. You just have to know which characters can get out of it, right? I think Noctis might be one of them, but I'm not sure. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the initial thing I would say is like, it's not just do lows because you should, right? It's do lows and see how it affects what your opponent wants to do to you, right? Like, see how they see how their behavior changes after getting hit low. Some people get hit low twice and then they start running into you, and then you can find your whiff punishes and your magic 4s and things like that, right? Some people will eat some people will eat 18 lows and lose the game that way. Like you know, if that's the way, then that's the way they're gonna do it, you know. Shadow 20Z is kind of like that. Like you hit his legs like 50 times to win a game, right?
Right.
Because he's trying to play the mid, the timing, the counter hit, the whiff punish game. But he prefers not to duck low because he doesn't want to just eat a launch. So against players like that, you have to kind of go down back 4, mix up your timing, don't go obvious so they can low parry it, you know? And what makes it kind of obvious or not is usually situationally what happened right before, and then what is the timing when the gap closes and the move is now inside like its threat range, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I talked a lot. Do you have any questions?
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I always feel like that I get too trapped in like the high-low mix-up game instead of, you know.
You mean
I
mid-low?
don't even normally. I honestly feel like when I play worse players, the game kind of devolves into that.
Yeah. Did you say high-low or mid-low?
Oh, sorry, mid-low.
I was like, huh? yeah, okay.
The mid-low mix-up game, I feel like when I play worse players, especially where I'm at, when I play ranked, it always kind of devolves into that. And then I feel like I just get outpaced in terms of like my defense isn't obviously that good. So, but their defense isn't very good either.
Yeah.
But then based right, but based on just like mashing the buttons and just going mid-low, I still get outpaced in damage.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't get many chances to play as compact as I'd like in my rank. I feel, you know what I'm saying?
What? Yeah, sure. What do you mean by that?
Like, I've always I think one of the best pieces of advice I got was like chill out. You know, hit too many buttons, chill out. I think I recognize that some of the places where I get opened up the most is me hitting a button, either counter hit or whiffing.
Yeah. So
Pretty.
Against low level, you can generally just backdash whiff punish. Not joking. Like when I was playing against you, that was 99% of my game plan. Against high level is when you usually have to like stimulate them to whiff, right? Pause. But,
right.
right.
And then I noticed like when I play high level, and maybe the based on my character, but they do kind of like they chill out a lot, and then I feel like I have a hard time opening people up.
Right.
And this guy is just standing there. I can do, and they'll let me like as you mentioned before, they'll let me do like a bunch of those little ones a day, like all day. But then when I think it's my time to like, maybe they're gonna duck here, or maybe I'll just do a hell sweep because I'm getting really frustrated at getting nothing. Then they block it, or like I get low parried, or I get counter hit or something.
Yeah. So in my case, the hell sweeps got obvious when I knew you needed HP.
Right.
You know, I knew it was like, oh, okay, time is running out. Like I've been pressuring him a bunch. Like I bet he wants his damage back. And there's no launch to scare me into not wanting to duck. So it's very straightforward to kind of be like, okay, the fly's coming in. I have time to see it. I can chill out. It's not like a super scary mix-up.
Right.
Down back 4 is scary because the way I would try to counter down back 4 opens me up to way more. Right? So like if you hell sweep me, what does that open me up to? Like fly 1 at the wall maybe, or like 3+4 if I'm
Right.
really just down
But it's
there.
pretty much neutral and open, right?
Right. It doesn't really
I
do
don't
much.
get wall splat off. That sucks.
Right.
Character
But
sucks.
if you are threatening down back 4 at the range that it's at, like at the close range, my counterplay is either low parry attempt, right? Or like hard duck, right? Or like try and backdash and make it whiff. If I'm forcing myself to hard duck, the mids that you would use to hit me, so like down forward 1, like push you into range where I have to guess again. So like Kazumi, you're creating like situational, like you're creating lockdown, and when you are correct, your opponent has to guess again,
I see.
right? And her power is that as soon as they guess wrong, she has ways to kind of blow them up. So like if they're doing nothing, she can chip them away. With like, you have to be kind of careful in your approach, right? Like you have to be willing to run up and do nothing instead of like running up and always doing an attack. And then you're reading for their response times to try and find magic 4, try to find a whiff punish, right?
Right.
So let's play some more and talk a lot. But basically, against like if you're playing against me, you'll want to always like keep your eyes really open to like what options am I choosing to use? Like am I just in backdash mode right now, or am I like heavily poking you? And like, you know, how am I running up to you? Like am I taking like 2 forward dashes, blocking and then hitting? Am I just doing dash up, like hit you right away? These are the kinds of things you want to play, like pay attention to, like keep your eyes open to all the ways I'm controlling my character. And then you will be able to and then eventually as you keep training, you'll find responses to those. And then in competition, like in tournament, you will want to use your like gut instinct and your trained responses because they're the fastest. So
Right.
right, but in times like these, you can afford to be like cognitive and kind of really think through it.
Yeah. I've always mentioned. I also mentioned that too. Like, you know, maybe it's playing the character, maybe it's playing. You know, we're just kind of chilling, kind of learning and stuff. But when I'm playing a character, say like I play a character I'm unfamiliar with, right? To me, it always feels like walking up and, you know, not doing something. You know, I'm losing out on opportunities where they can retaliate, and I'm gonna eat something because I'm just unfamiliar with the character or their character, especially like in bracket. Their character, you have to do like the grimiest shit.
Right. So
fucking run up and do this shit, you know. Stuff like
that's
that.
not a strategy issue, like you pointed out. That's like a character familiarity issue, right?
Right.
Right. Then that's important. Is like if you don't want to like stunt your development, it's like you want to recognize where is it like a knowledge gap and you just have to learn it versus like where is it an actual strategy gap. Like if you watch me run up to you and do nothing, like I'm not getting hit because you're not doing anything.
Right, because I'm waiting for you to do something,
Yep.
man. Jesus Christ.
And then time runs out and then I win. So you
Right.
yeah.
Fight.
But like, yeah, then like I feel like, man, when you're playing characters that like either are
Oops.
what? You can punish that shit? I've actually never used a move before in my life.
3-2.
No, down forward 4.
Oh, it's good. It's a good as fuck move because of the pushback. It's like I can bait.
I just know like when it hits you, you can do it again.
This move is great because once I can just backdash and almost everything will whiff. Oh my god.
Oh, that one though. Okay, that one sucks.
Round 3. Fight.
I feel like even if I know the character though, not getting something out of every interaction because of like the way I've just like played the game feels really bad.
Yeah, so
every interaction I don't get something out of, I feel like I'm getting to eat something else.
So yes, if you are a player who needs to win every interaction, it becomes very obvious on how to beat you. Because I can just deny interactions over and over like this. I'm just choosing not to interact, and then when you get really desperate, I can find like a magic 4, or I can clip you like that.
Oh, I was about bloody up, bro. If I could manage to make that shit.
So like I could. That's the least scary opponent is the one who's always trying to hit me.
Oh,
And that's why like things like you mentioned like Kazuya Twin Pistons will probably hit you a lot because you are not only telegraphing you're doing a high, you're telegraphing when the high is coming, which is every time.
Yeah.
Right? In a fighting game, unpredictability, like being solid is really important. I'm a huge proponent of being solid, but I cannot deny that when it comes to winning, unpredictability is like the number one factor, right? You could play as solid as you want, but if I know exactly what you're going to do, it doesn't matter. And that's not to say that being solid and being unpredictable are at odds. It's more that if you focus too hard on, say, for example, I'm afraid I can't win some interactions and I'll take damage, therefore I need to win every interaction I'm going into. You can see how that creates a gameplay pattern where it's like, oh, if I'm ahead, he's going to try to hit me back harder, right? If we're even, he's going to try to hit me. If I'm behind, like I need to regain a lead.
They kind of know, like, it's like the hell sweep thing you mentioned.
Yeah.
Right, where, like, I'm behind.
And if I'm at a deficit when I was playing against you, I didn't feel like take half bar on me again. I didn't feel like, oh my god, I have to win half a bar back and then we're even. I said, I'm gonna do some shit and it'll probably mess up. And I'll get the health back eventually, it doesn't matter. That was how I was approaching it. And then if you truly did nothing, then that created a problem. Like, okay, now I need to figure out how to get in without getting jabbed, so maybe I'll do some of this. And then he whiffed. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Right, and then I'm trying to read when are you like afraid, so I'll just keep swinging. And then when do you feel like hitting back, and then I'll stop. You know, that kind of thing.
Oh shit. Whoa. Do something.
Oop. I whiffed. Nice. And then because you kept doing nothing, I didn't know when you were going to come in. I whiffed because I was like, oh, he's surely going to come in now. And then he didn't. Right? So lots of deception.
All right. I think one thing that like when I'm in my elo and I'm trying to win, I'm always like, all right, me hitting buttons would kill me a lot of times. I can recognize that. Right, I'm getting counter hit or something. So I'm gonna chill out, right? And then if I fight the right opponent that I guess maybe plays with me, I can get pretty easy with punishes. And I'll win pretty convincingly, right? You can just they'll just kill themselves.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then at some point I'll fight a character or a player that I just can't defend against. But because I'm in the mindset of I don't do something, let them kill themselves, I just get beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so they're like, I found the guy that won't get buttons. Thank God.
You're in a situation where you're like between skills. So your approach is correct. If I just wait, he'll kill themselves. But you know what the second part you said right after? He said my defense isn't good enough, so I get run over. The answer isn't I need to find a different approach. The answer is my defense needs to get better.
Right.
Right. That's
so hard, man.
It is hard. It's hard as fuck. So the part you have to handshake is like, you're gonna D-rank, you're gonna lose a bunch of rank, you're gonna lose a fuck ton of games. I will go into games where like I'm playing Kazumi and I'm working on a defensive like a fuzzy or something, or like I'm working on finding a certain timing or like trying out new ideas. I will literally be prepared to drop from, I was TGP and I'm like, I'll drop from TGP to Tekken King if it means I'll learn this thing. And like that's the kind of approach you need to like really thrive in like ranked. And to get way better.
Yeah. That makes. I mean, that's like what I kind of like struggle with, where it's like, all right, don't hit buttons, and then you'll find the players, right? Like, this guy's forcing me because he's hitting the buttons. He's killing him. But then like I'll be that way too, where it's like I find a guy that's not gonna duck anything, and I'm like, oh, awesome, I can just get away with any low I want because I'm gonna run up and. I can, I was playing God drag lately. And this guy will not like he'll like see every down two because like he won't duck because he's probably like thinking the same shit where it's like if I hit buttons I'm gonna the mix up or I'm gonna the counter hit. But then like eventually like there's so many lows you can eat before like you just lost the game.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that, you know.
Yeah, it's so I had a similar issue in Europe where they are really good at running people over. And my defense...
I think America's that way too, man. People just want to run
It is.
over.
Europe is a whole new level of that. My defense wasn't good enough to supplement my strategy of just backdashing. So I'm trying to find a ranked game to see if I can like show it at like this level. But like, basically, you're on the right track. Like what you're trying to do is the right thing. You don't want to give up because your defense isn't good enough yet. You use those games, be willing to tank like 10, 20 games, and you're like, I'm going to learn the defense for this guy. And if you don't, you go to the lab and you try again, you know? So I have, you can see my screen, yeah?
Is there any character you're unfamiliar with? I feel like
Oh,
good
I'm
players,
familiar with a
they
fuck ton
seem-
of characters.
Yeah. I always feel like good players seem to know all the shit, but like
No, I'm
in
ass.
reality, a lot of them just don't.
I'm ass, but I will show you.
Oh,
So
Bob, awesome. He's just gonna run you over.
yeah, so Bob, main things I'm looking for, if I read a forward 2, I'll go left, but usually I'll just block because the CD1 will hit sidestep left. So I'm gonna backdash and chill, and if I think he's gonna hell sweep me, I'm gonna sidewalk right because it covers both directions. And if he's truly doing nothing, then we'll answer that later. But for now, I'm just chilling. If I find a like keep out jab or a magic 4, oh there we go. This Bob was very helpful with his. Thank you for helping me fake Hispanic. Let's see. So I'm just chilling. I could have ducked that. He's kind of chilling. Okay, first hell sweep. So it took 30 seconds and he was getting like kind of bored. I don't know. Oh. I think I can duck that. Oh. I'm doing some sidestep rights against his moves. Now I'm thinking he might hell sweep again, so I'm gonna walk. Oh, shit. Oh, there's a whiff punish. See that? I'm gonna try to hit him so I don't lose. Oh. Oh, I'm ass. I'm ass! Ah! But you saw how it was working, right? Like, until I fucked up? But that's not the approach's fault. That's my fault. Oops, I'm ass. Oh my god, I'm garbage!
So like, are you walking right in general? Just because that's the way we do it?
Against Bob, I'm doing sidestep right ducks to try and beat his like pokes. And then, oh my god, he whiffed for me. I could have killed him. And then I'm walking right against his crouch dash specifically. I'm ass. Did you see how he did that back sway and I didn't even do anything to like make him want to do that? He was just so scared. I hadn't even done anything yet. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is what we want. This is what we want. I'm locked in there. We're chilling. Oh, shit. Yep, I didn't do anything. Why are you doing that? Okay, so he's still blocking mid, so he's not really afraid. Oh my god. Whiff punish. I'm ass. So you can see, like, every interaction I'm losing is not because my approach is bad, it's because my defense is bad, or I'm hitting a button, right? Let's try it again.
So you're saying it's
You should pick a main and stick to it and keep climbing because you are telling me the answer that I'm going to give you, right? You're like, oh, this isn't working, but my defense is bad, so I picked a new character. I'm like, no, you're so close. Like you found you put yourself in the right situation. You found the problem.
Doesn't it seem though like, man, some characters they can hit the button, right?
Yeah.
I don't get any button. How come he
Right.
hit the button? How come he can't, backdash the whole time? And I get hit the button or something.
Well, he can't backdash the whole time because we're not good enough yet to make him stop, right? Like, if I wanted to just attack him, I could probably win. But if I'm specifically working on cleaning up my defense, I'm going to lose 50 times if I need to. Oh my god.
That's probably a better way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
Round 2. Fight.
Alright, here we go. Oh my god. See, I don't care. I don't care about the hell sweep. That's just one. I missed the whiff punish because I was mad about the hell sweep. Ow. Oh, shit. Still got some youth in my bones. I think I can duck that. I'm not sure. That's something I should look into. Oh, I'm ass. Oh, he's bad. Oh yeah, throw breaks. Don't forget that.
I just mashed him two at a time. I can't see it, dude. I've tried to see it. I can't see it.
I will give you my throw break training program. There's a okay, so we had to slide. The throw breaks are reactable, and you just gotta train it. If you feel like you can see stature kick, bro, you can break throws. Okay.
No, I feel like they can see stats. What I said was I feel like they can see stats.
I don't know. You reacted to a couple of my statures, and that's way harder than breaking throws. I'm ass. But you see what I mean? Like, I'll teach you how to break
Yeah.
throws too. We'll go through that. I'll send you my document and then we'll look at that. But
Okay.
throws are very doable. I'm so unable to defend.
One thing I've always felt like, especially for me, is when I'm trying to, be defensive, chill out more.
Mhm.
I always play at range, let's say 2.5, maybe 2, 3, somewhere around there.
Mhm.
So that gives me, what it feels like is it saves me from being too close to the folks, and it gives me more time to react to them coming in. And it's easy. And it's easy with punish if there's hit buttons right in that area. If they're just hitting your buttons in that area without actually moving, to me it feels like, okay, I need to slow down.
Great.
Yeah, no, you are not wrong that
Round 4.
when you're spacing out like that,
Fight.
the lows become somewhat easier to deal with because they have to dash up to do them, right? Depending on the character.
Right?
And that's a really
Right.
important fundamental. That's important. What
I feel like that's not Kazumi's like optimal range.
no,
That's what I
but this is a skill you're
Right.
working on, right?
Yeah.
It's to develop the skill. But another thing is oh my god, this is so hard to do. Oh my god, give me a sec. I forgot what I was trying to say because I was trying to defend. If the opponent's running into you, they're putting themselves in Kazumi's optimal range, right?
I see.
So it doesn't really matter. Well, I mean, it does matter, but not for at this moment. So I'm looking for the hell sweep. I'm gonna side stock about right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I can walk right that. Oh my god. Oh, with punish you. Okay.
Final
Nice.
round.
God, I wish I remember what I was gonna say. If I'll find it and I'll tell you.
Something about them walking into my op.
Yeah, this was before that. You said something that made me think of that.
Oh.
Okay, so we tried to cover that step. Block punish. Okay, he blocked the stature. I'm gonna try. Oh my god. Do you see how he didn't want to deal with the mix-up again? So we just did like a power crush. That's a whiff punish
I do a
opportunity.
lot.
I'm ass. I'm ass. Oh, I'm garbage. I'm so bad. Ah! All right, I'll keep you for one more so I can see if I can prove my point. But as you can see, even I got a lot to work on. But I'm getting really close to just beating him strictly off of that plan. Of being like,
Yeah.
oh, I remember what I was gonna say. So even when you're just backdashing and chilling out, you want the full like intensity and presence of your mind. So a problem I had to work on was I would just backdash and check out because I'm like, all right, see ya, you know. But like, no, you want to backdash and your eyes still want to be completely on what they're doing, because that's how you find your whiff punishes. That's how you find like counter hit opportunities. That's how you know what offensive options you're looking
There
for.
are some times where like you feel like you're super locked in, and the down back forward does look reactive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you're playing the backdash game, you still want that full level of intensity, even though it's kind of boring to do, you know? So I'm locked in, but I'm picking the wrong punish. Again. Oh shit, I'm ass.
Punishing him though.
I'm bad! Ah!
Throw breaks. I can't trust this man.
I'm not gonna down back forward. I'm gonna run up down through. I didn't want to give him a chance to counter hit me or to like react in low parry to like me running up. Oh my god. I'm bad. I'm gonna side roll right. Ow. Oh. Oh my god. Yep. Okay, lock in. If he crouch dashes in, we're walking like that. Okay, a little whiff punish. Nothing crazy. Oh,
And sometimes though, I feel like
let's go. Sorry,
win,
what?
you win neutral like 20 times, right? Then you win. And you're like, man, if I was East, I could probably just win neutral.
Yes. Okay, so that is yes. If that's your issue, is you want to win neutral less and win the game, you do want to pick a different character. But in my opinion,
I
for
just can't help but feel that.
oh, you're not. No, you're not wrong. You have to win way more interactions.
That on Geese, that would counter hit launches ass or some shit, you know?
Yes.
Or some shit like that. Or like, man, the homing mid that wall splats. He ducked at the wall, and I back to him, but now it's like, I didn't get anything.
Oh, shit.
Some shit like that.
Yes. No, you are not wrong that you have to win more interactions as Kazumi. That is what you have to do. Okay, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna block the slide because that'll kill me. Break the throw. I run away. I'm gonna sidewalk right if he tries to hell sweep me. Or I'll jab. But I don't really want to... Okay, there we go. So because I was just running away, you see how he had to like come up with some... He had to formulate some kind of strategy in his head, some kind of attack plan, and he was like, oh, how the fuck do I get in? And then at the end there, you saw him do like a little jiggle because he was figuring out if he wanted to crouch dash or not. And then it was easy to jab him, right? So the backdash is so strong for making your opponent be like, oh shit, okay, how do I hit him? and then you hit him when they're trying to hit you. So I'll do one more. But do you have any other questions while I have you?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think I get it.
Yeah.
Round one.
Game's kind of hard, but as you figure out more defensive things, you'll just get way better. And then when you do decide to play your one-shot wonder character, you'll have so many more skills to do it with that you'll just be nasty, you know?
I've tried other characters, but I think playing Kazumi while first starting this game, I've like cemented myself in a certain play style where I end up playing all the characters the same way, and I've noticed that like a lot of those bullshit characters can't play the regular game too well.
Yeah, the super bullshit characters can, which is crazy, but yeah.
Right.
Oh my god, I'm asked.
And
So
it makes you feel like I'm not playing the game like the way I want to.
yeah,
I kind of like.
so stick to it. It'll
man,
get
where's the downward
frustrating.
one at?
It'll get
know?
frustrating, but stick to it because yeah, like you'll be able to figure out, I think. Just don't give up when you're when you come to the conclusion your defense is bad. Don't give up. There wasn't really a mid I was scared of to like knock me down or anything, right? Outside of like crouch dash 2, like the big Shoryuken. So that's why I blocked low there. I was like, okay, he needs like a hell sweep or a low poke, and I can read this one pretty clearly. Now I'm gonna chill. Block punish. I don't think he was gonna finish that. I'm reading a hell sweep, honestly, or a low. Okay, well, wow, I was right. But you don't want to necessarily think as far ahead as I'm mentioning it. I'm just thinking aloud because that's what it is. But you want to like play with your eyes, look at them, see what they're doing. I think he's gonna rage drive probably, so I'm gonna chill. If he doesn't, I'll just jab him. So he had to run into me and attack.
Round three. Fight.
I feel like in bracket, that's why I always hung up on this, right? It's like, man, in bracket, I was the emo, and in bracket, when I won, you just do the scummiest shit. Yeah, dude, you just fly hell sweep every time, like as many times as possible. You know,
Yeah,
but you're not
so-
learning anything off of that.
So bracket play, you don't want to fall into the trap I fall into a lot, which is like I'm trying to apply everything I've learned. I'm trying to do my best, I want to like show up and look clean. You don't want to think like that.
Right.
In bracket, you want to be as like locked in focus wise as possible with like your eyes, but you don't want to. Oh shit, I hit him. Oh! You want to be locked in as focus wise as possible. You don't want to force specific ways of winning or playing. Ideally, that's what the training is for, is so you can do that without so you can do that
I want to
subconsciously.
be rage guard. I want to be rage guard with that combo would feel maybe.
I'm ass at using Kazumi's rage drive combo and shit like that, so that's why I didn't do it there. But anyways, if you don't have any more questions, thanks for the session. You are welcome to DM me anytime with other questions and things like that. And
For sure.
yeah, appreciate the time.
Thank you too, man. Appreciate it, dude.
Yes.
Round one.
All right, have a good one.
All right.
Fight.
You too.
Did I block his hell sweep? Oh my god, what is going on? Coaching. My computer's like freezing. Sorry, fake Hispanic. Okay, I'm back. Should be good. Alright. Kazumi stream, yeah, I have 15 minutes until the next session, so. Oh my god. Ow! No, I broke that. This game sucks. You're talking about Kazumi's alpha. Oh. Thanks, you were reminding me from before. What's up, everybody? Sorry for not saying hi. Haven't streamed in a while. Computer is disagreeing with some of the shit happening, but also I was coaching. So, definitely a mental challenge, but... Kicking off the YouTube, getting more shit going, so... The coaching sessions on stream will help that. Oh my god, hit his ass. Oh, what a looper. How y'all been? How y'all been? Thanks for coming in. Oh my... Am I dead? EWT experience. It was okay. I mean, I played really bad. I mean, I didn't play horrible. Like, I didn't play nervous, which is cool. But I was not very... I'm learning how to beat, like, European players. And I was really focused on that strategy more than, like, just playing... Oh my god! Down forward 1 whiffed! Up John 316. If you have specific questions, I'm happy to talk about that. I didn't really have anything notable outside of meeting some people I'd known online for a while. Duck that, bro. Please. Who took me out? Ernie Bowl, some Paul player. I wish I had my sets recorded. I need to bring a tripod. I need to get a tripod. That's like the... I had one, but it was so flimsy that I didn't feel confident. Yeah. He said what I didn't do. Fuck! Like, don't think about the big pink elephant, you know? Oh my god! Oh my, I didn't mean to do that. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, my next session in 10 minutes. Just a consultation, so it'll just be a conversation. Dude, this is the Joey Fury. If Joey Fury played Kazumi, you know it looked like this. Okay, maybe not that. It would hit. Oh my god, yeah, the LCQ people who made it out, that shit was crazy. They had no time to do anything. I'm ass. Good patience, good patience. So yeah, my graphics card is like hard freezing. I'm a little concerned about that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Like when I overload it with like Discord and shit, it starts maybe it's the hardware acceleration? I don't know.
Round 1.
Yeah, just watching was tiring, right? And then if you saw Joey's thing, he was talking about they like inaccurately told them when to show up to play and then like had them go back home. It was like whack. Oh, that is a high. Get the Mad Mal. What was the streams? I don't know what to tell you, man. I was just as confused. They didn't tell us anything, and I didn't even make it far enough to have to care about that. I blocked. Try to react. Oh my god.
Round 2.
Alright, let's set a good example. Let's just backdash again. Set a good example for the audience. The little mix up there. Play advantage. Now we chill. Oh my god. Chill. He starts waving in. We have answers with movement. Oh, I'm ass. Would you ever go back to Amsterdam? I would want to have had the trip paid for. Paying for that trip felt like ass. I think if I were a qualifier, like if I qualified, I would happily go again for sure. Because I like Tekken 7 enough to want to travel and compete. I love competing, so. But paying for that, not my favorite. Are you down to visit the city? Oh. I have to go with my girlfriend, probably. If I went with my girlfriend, it'd be fun. With the right people. If I'm with the right people, I don't really care where we are. Unless I'm, like, miserable, you know? Like, if I'm in Vietnam, I don't think I'm vibing. No matter how cool the people I'm with are. I got, like, asthma. The smog is in my nose. But, like, Amsterdam I could do. See, but by that logic, I wouldn't be happy anywhere. So I gotta draw a line in the sand somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going by, forget about the Tekken, forget about the people. Are you vibing? I'm gonna default to no. Vesper almost got Joey Fear and Ty ran over by a train. Oh my god, dude. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Have I been to Tokyo? I've been to Kyoto and Osaka. I love Japan. That was cool. Oh, this is not correct here in this position. Hop kick. We didn't know. Ah! Oh! Ah! Oh! Ah! 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 Oh! Oh, I'm a genius. What? This game sucks. Oh my god. That's what it means to like a place. But see, I don't know if I would like to live there. Oh, I guess that's not what you asked. Okay, fine. I get it. I get it. I understand. I understand. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm figuring it out. There we go. This game is so jank, it's not even funny. No, it's very funny. I agree. It's hella funny. One thing I wanted to mention was at the wall, I played people that would just stand block me the whole time to avoid the wall spot because they really need down before this react. Yeah, so you don't just have to down back 4 on immediate timing, right? Like if they're at the wall turtling, you got down back 4, you got this shit. This shit's annoying. And if they whiff in retaliation, you get that, you know, to like wall splat them. Oh my god, that had so many active frames. I'm trying to prove a point. Do a couple of these. Oh, my fault. You got other lows besides down by 4, right? And you don't even have to do anything. Like, if you stand right here, are you telling me they're really doing nothing? Oh. Like, Keith did a throw. You got that shit. You got this shit. Oh. You're not about to prove a point about breaking somebody's blocking versus a Bob player. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Oh my god, I'm just old. I hit the brake like literally like 80 frames later. Go low. Oh! Ah! I'm so old, dude! Alright, last match and then I gotta get to the next client. Some of this. Some of that. Okay. Are you going to any other offlines? Hell yeah, I am. It's TWT 2023. We got goals. We got a mission. This would do chip damage in Tekken 8. Oh. What the fuck? I'm ass. I'm ass. Ah! Okay, GG's. I gotta go coach this guy. I mean, I'll still be on the stream, right? But Magnificent, the only bot player on the planet who knows how to block. That's his favorite thing to do. He doesn't like going low. Alright. Well, I might play sessions with this person. Let's see. Alright. Next session. Oh, okay. I have 3 minutes. I do have to see how the fuck. Hella funny if the chip moves are all unsafe. Oh, so you chip them, but you get hit after? That's kind of funny. My sound alerts aren't working. So everybody who's subscribed to me has gotten scammed so far. I'm not sure how to fix that right now. What if I make this controllable via OBS? Control audio via OBS.
That's why I'll
you
never
guys can do
forgive
that,
the
right?
Japanese.
Fit X Nodders, Fit X Nodders, Fit X Nodders, Fit X Nodders, Fit X Nodders,
What
Fit
if I do
X
some
Nodders,
advanced
Fit
audio
X Nodders.
properties? Monitor only. That'll work. Are you guys hearing that twice or just once? Hey, Hispanic, thank you for the follow. Sorry I didn't stay and play more. I got a coaching session coming up. I'm working on a script for a 3-minute breakdown of the Tekken 8 mechanics reveal. My throat's feeling better, pause, so I might do that today. I should do it. I should do it now and dick around later. Winter is coming. What are you talking about? Alright. Do this call. Hello, hello?
Yo, what's up, Feedy?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's going, man. How are you?
Good, good. Chilling. I didn't know if you wanted this on or off stream, so I'm on stream right now, but let me know.
Oh, no, it's fine. I don't really care.
Cool, cool. Makes my life way easier.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so go ahead. Were you gonna say something? Sorry.
Yeah. Nah, I had a few like questions or like bullet points that I wanted to talk about. I didn't want to like turn this into an interview
No, you good.
because I think that's kind of boring. But no.
I
so
mean,
first
I'm
of all-
here. I'm here for what you need. So if an interview works best, then that's cool.
Oh, for sure. No, I was just gonna ask a couple things. So first of all, how was your LCQ experience? I know I saw Joey make a tweet or whatever and explaining why like it was kind of like 50-50 at certain points. I just wanted to know like how was your experience as a competitor and as a spectator?
I didn't get far enough to get Joey's experience as a player, but it was funny because the bracket, it was like like as we were about to start, they were like about to process the DQs, but they didn't finalize the bracket. So the moment the bracket started, the entire bracket got shuffled.
Damn.
So it was like,
Damn.
yeah, it was funny for me because I was like, it'll be fine, whatever. But like, I can imagine for people like Chanel and like John Ding who like made it out and then had to wait longer, shit like that. It was probably a nightmare. For me, it was fine. Spectator experience was pretty good. It wasn't as fun as Evo. Evo was kind of like the stage was way bigger, the crowd was bigger. High bar, I know, but there were also a fuck ton of 10-minute breaks. That was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So it really dragged on. It took forever. That's
Okay.
probably the best summary of my experience.
Yeah, I feel like when Joey started talking about like the whole winding down, winding up like type of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty, no, like relevant to note because sometimes when you're competing, momentum is like the biggest driving force and determining factor if I guess if you're gonna win the next game or the next set or whatever the case may be. So definitely felt Joey on that. Okay, cool. Let me ask you a very serious question that I don't know. I feel like a lot of the times I ask this to the higher echelon of people in any type of competitive game,
Mhm.
and it's either hit or miss. So, do you think that the upper echelon of, let's just talk about Tekken, is gatekeepy?
Ooh, that's a fascinating question. What do you mean by that? What's your definition of gatekeeping?
Okay, so let's say for example, I am a average player, intermediate player, and I am coming to, I don't know, let's say Anakin or Joey or some other high level Tekken player that I might look up to in the American scene
Mhm.
to ask them about, very, very particular questions about the game.
Mhm.
I've heard, not from my personal experience, but I've heard that sometimes some of these players, not Anakin or Joey specifically, but they can be kind of withholding information in a way. Um, and I know that that definitely is a thing in other games that I personally experienced, like first-person shooters, you know, sometimes even like MOBAs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I'm
Um,
always the type of person that if someone has a question about anything, like I'm very open to answer it. So I just wanted to know what your opinion was on just higher level competitive gaming being gatekeepy to keep, um, I guess certain people in certain positions and like not have to worry about like oncoming threats from other players.
yeah, so in my experience, the only time anybody has ever withheld information from me is if they genuinely thought it would be a detriment to my learning process to receive that information right away. Right? So, for example, I worked with a league coach from 2014 or 2015 to about 2018, right? And he had this process where he wanted us to work on I don't know how much MOBAs you play, but like last hitting or like hitting the creeps for like phase
Right.
1. Phase 2 was like learning to do that while trading with your opponent on like, consistent timings, like punishing their attempt to last hit. Stage 3 was like refining our mouse clicking and our mechanics there and like your accuracy with that, and like learning some like higher level like mouse control, things like that,
Right.
camera control. And then kind of phase 4 was like a like map awareness and like learning to regularly check the map during laning while executing all the trading and everything perfectly, or like at like with proficiency.
Right.
And then the 5th stage, he wouldn't tell anybody what it was. So at first, people were like, "Are you withholding information? What's going on?" And then I went through all the process, and the 5th stage was basically when you start looking up like item builds and like rune optimization and all of the like pro level stuff, like the kind of like the icing on the cake type stuff, where it's like
Right.
it doesn't affect how good of a player you are. It's just something you look up and then do,
Okay.
Also studying like specific matchups and like in-depth interactions and things like that. He saved all that for like the 5th stage, and he wouldn't tell anybody about it because in his experience, telling people about stage 5 first made them stop focusing as hard on developing the micro fundamentals and things like that, and instead they would just be like, "Oh, well, maybe there's a better build I could use, or maybe there's this thing," like it was a distractor. The only time I've ever had that experience in Tekken was like Momodog was trying to teach me the down back 1/1+2 resplats on Noctis,
Right.
and he wouldn't tell me what the angle was or what the strat was, because he said, "I want you to develop like the intuition, because there are micro adjustments you need to make in different situations, and you won't learn it if you are trying to copy paste a formula,
Got it. Okay. Yeah, that
So-
definitely makes a lot of sense. Okay.
And in context specifically with high level players I've talked to, like Joey and Anakin, they've been really, really good about like sharing information with me. I've never felt like they were like, "Oh, this guy might be a threat. I can't like tell him something," Even like I would get coaching from Joey like right before like big tournaments and things like that. He was very open on analyzing what I was weak at, what I'm strong at, things like that. So
Got you.
yeah, I think that if it exists, I have not experienced it. And if somebody's gatekeeping information, I question how confident they are in their skills. Like
Definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was gonna also say. Like, most of the time, I feel like people might gatekeep because they feel threatened by someone, which is probably a projection of their insecurities about themselves, like you said. So.
yeah, so the only information hiding I see is like people won't stream before big tournaments or things like that.
Right. Okay. Got it. All
That's
right.
the main thing I see.
Definitely. All right. Thanks for that. To give you, I guess, a little background about myself, to speak more Tekken, I've been playing the game for about maybe, well, this is my first Tekken experience. At a competitive level, I should say. I mean, obviously, I think everyone's played like Tekken Tag 1 or 3 or whatever the case may be, but competing and trying to learn the game and all that stuff, this is the first Tekken, so I count this as, I guess, my first Tekken experience. So, when when I started playing the game in the very beginning, I realized that I had to play catch up
Uh-huh.
because there's so many legacy players that were already like super ahead of me in the game, and although it was pretty discouraging, I found myself more so on practice mode and more so on YouTube looking at like educational videos
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. So before you, I was watching a lot of Blasted Salami, a lot of what's the other guy's name? I always forget his name. But just to pretty much just give myself an idea of what I have to do in order for me to like harness the closest thing to pro level gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
My question for you is, what is the most important thing that you think a person that is already good at the game should focus on
Oh,
at
that's
that, like, you know what I mean? Let's not talk about like, you know, obviously movement's very important. Obviously understanding, you know, timing and punishment is always important. But as someone who's trying to be a competitor and who's already good at the game, who's already like, you know, playing against high level players but kind of falling short, what do you think?
Damn.
Is
Okay.
something
No. Okay. I'm kidding.
No, I'm talking about me. That's me.
Okay. I was like, God damn. All right.
I
No,
feel
you
like,
good, you
you perform pretty well. No, I'm just like, what's something that you think that someone should, you know, maybe focus on a little bit more, something that someone should focus on a little bit less, because, you know,
Sure.
sometimes you can hyperfixate on things that may or may not be important.
Sure. So for reference, I don't consider myself good enough yet, and my approach is similar to before, but with new things I'm learning from better players. So I'll give you the example what I'm working on and why. Right. So when I was first kind of playing, it was just kind of, oh, can I hit TGP? You know, learn my punishes, try and like be as solid as I can, copy what I see good players doing, that kind of thing. One thing I was very not focused on was the idea of like developing my own style or developing my own flair, right? I believed when I was learning Tekken that there was an optimal way to do things, and I wanted to learn that. Now that once I hit a point where I was like after I won my first ICFC, I was still like not consistent, and I'm still not that consistent. Like I still like a hard bracket for me. I needed to find ways to challenge my existing beliefs to see where I could continue to make growth. One of those things was like I was very blind to style, but every time I talked to Anakin and Joey, they would always mention the word style. So I'm like, okay, well, what is this thing going on here? And it's become even more apparent to me in Europe. Like there are, even though you can approach the game as kind of like, and I think you should approach the game as a way of like options and counters, right? And like being very objective with it as you can. Tekken has a fundamental kind of like mix-up built into it, right? Like mid-low. Like that's like a very like basic, that's built into the base concept of it. And because there is, in my opinion, that element of like human variance, their style has to be taken into account. You have to take into account the human preference and use that to influence what like probabilities you're assigning to different actions people can take. Does that make sense? So so you asked like, you know, what are you taking to learn? My approach now is keeping my eyes very open to everything going on, and with some impressions of styles that I've seen and been taught from before. So for example, on this trip I was really working on countering like the European style, which is like,
what is the European style?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. I was about to talk about it. To me, the Europeans are really good at finding micro answers to everything, right? So like, if they like, the main critiques they had of me is like, oh, you weren't like doing sidestep right to turn off my down forward one, or like, you know, you weren't using these sidesteps to counter my attacks, you know, things like that. They are very good at finding micro answers to every single thing because they want to kill you for every single thing. So like Momodog is super notorious for this. He knows like sidestep interactions for like Noctis versus every character. He knows like the nuanced shit, like the really creepy dude like shit. Like why do you know that? That's crazy, you know? Like he knows all that shit. What he's not willing to do is backdash for 40 seconds because it'll win him the round, right? So they're really good at the micro situations, and they really want to use them, and they really want to win on those reads. So they will play like the idea of like variance and like success rate and like safety is less important to them than the idea of applying the counter to the read that they have.
Gotcha.
So, when a good example is Jod. I don't know if you watched him play in TWT, right?
Yeah, sick. Nina.
Yeah. When I was playing first to fives with him before, and when you saw him on the stage too, Jod does something that's really odd from a competitor standpoint to me, where if he has like a 100 to 10% HP lead, he will like hard duck if he thinks you're going low. Even if there's like a superpower, even if it's against Noctis, who like the only comeback he's getting is off of a huge launching mid, right?
Right, yeah.
So like what I did against Jod when I was playing in the first to fives is I would be down like maybe like 10 to 100, and I would just run up and do a down back 1+2, and it would hit.
What was your success rate on that?
It was alarmingly high.
Okay. Hear me?
Yeah.
Maybe the word odd isn't the word that should be. Maybe it's very, very interesting because, I think that a lot of players to have a life lead and just hold backdash and just wait for like opportunity to whiff punish, to then close out the round. But if you're hard ducking and you have I don't know, that I just feel like that might be more of a character specific thing that some people may or may not do. For example, like Noctis isn't scary in terms of lows.
He's not,
in my
no,
opinion.
he's
Like,
not.
he's really not. So maybe a character like Ana that can force a 50-50 in the neutral might be a better character to have that strat against. You know what I mean? But definitely against Noctis, I feel like
Exactly. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, right?
You win by just holding back.
So the only reason he would do it is because he was that confident I was going low.
Mhm.
And that is the exploitable part of the EU style, is they want to make these micro outplays, and they're really good at them, and they're really cracked. Like you whiff, they're going to punish it. They have this offensive flow chart. They know how sidestep beats A, B, C, D, right? They know how backdash beats D, like E, F, G, H. They can go down like to 8 dimensions of the alphabet, right? Like they know. But they won't play the statistically safe hand. An analogy I was given, Speed was telling me this. He's like, imagine like a poker player who plays every hand because they know they have the player read, right? But sometimes you fold just because your cards aren't good, right? It doesn't matter how good your player read is. If your cards won't back it up, it doesn't work. So that's the counter to the EU style, is you play by the numbers as long as as many interactions as possible. You deny like any kind of flowchart retaliation or any kind of like block stun retaliation, right?
Yeah.
You deny that and continue to play, like make the 80-20 decision over and over and over and over again. And even when you're on 1 pixel, they might play into that variance. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was where I was cracking. So when I was playing the first to fives in Europe, I would play the numbers as long as I could until I was in rage. And then I would start like mashing keep out. But if I were to stay stand blocking like one more interaction, they might do something dumb. Like they whiffed. Or, like I didn't have to choose for the game to be over at that interaction.
Okay.
Right? And so for me, the European style is that. It's you hyper micro focus and like familiarity, not willing to play the macro game usually, where HP, game state, spacing, clock, all those things, they're less important to them than making the read and RPSing to get there. Yeah.
I never paid very, very close attention to European play until this year, to be honest with you.
Neither did I, honestly.
So it's very interesting that's, I guess, your interpretation of how they play. I don't know. I just, for me, I think that when I was watching Jod play, I was astounded by how confident he was in all of his decision making throughout the entire, like every set. You could just tell that he just had just the idea was always right. I don't know, like even like Gerlanda too. Like when I guess since we're on the topic of European play, so confident, so everything. You know, like when everything's
Mhm.
just hitting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's everything's just working right. That's how I felt like he like was playing, and I guess he just rode that momentum to like almost the very end. So
Yeah, yeah. So
kudos to both those
I
players.
have not talked to a European player who isn't confident in their play.
Yeah,
They know what they want to do to you. If they're wrong, they're wrong. But they know what they want to
Hey,
do to you.
Listen, as an American player, I need some of that confidence to rub
Me
off
too,
on me.
bruh. I'm
You know
like,
what I
is
mean?
this the
Like,
right thing? Like, I'll be in the middle of a tournament set in a situation I've labbed over and over again, and I'll ask myself, is this the right thing to do? It's like, you know,
it's because sometimes, and I think you've mentioned this before, there's so many little subtle nuances and just things that can happen. Like, man, you practice this, you being able to sidestep this particular string or move, but because you were, off axis on this map,
Yeah, yeah.
like it's crazy. Yeah. All right, cool.
So
Let's
that actually leads me to another point. Is you were asking,
yeah.
like, what am I preparing for? How am I learning? The next thing I'm working on is the mindset needed in competition versus the mindset needed in training. And I consider ranked training in that sense, right? Like, even now I'm considering these ICFCs almost like training, right? Like, because offline I am still locked into trying to conscious brain my way out of everything, when that is the exact situation where I need to trust my training and let my body move at the speed it needs to move at, you know?
What's your mindset if you trust your training and then in the tournament it just doesn't work out for some reason?
Then you performed as prepared as you could have been.
Okay.
You know? That's like an L you just take because it's like, you got something to work on next time. But like,
for sure,
I know for a fact that trying to anticipate that with more thinking is almost guaranteed to generate worse outcomes, at least for people like me.
I think it's, you say for people like you, but I think that it's for most people.
I hesitate to generalize that much because I haven't seen enough people, I haven't been to enough, but that's my hunch. My hunch is that for most humans in performance sport, it tends to be the case that you want less conscious brain and more subconscious brain.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Okay. Great. That was awesome. I guess my last thing is more of like, again, like personal, but so tonight I have a first to 10 versus L Train.
Okay.
I have a wide character arsenal right now that I can play at a pretty mid to high level. More recently, I've picked up Marduk. What are your thoughts on the Marduk versus Lars matchup, and I mean, obviously, okay. Well, I was gonna ask you which character do you think it's in favor more of, but I think it's obviously in favor more of Marduk personally.
I have really shitty character knowledge, believe it or not.
Okay.
Part of the reason I came up with 1 minute matchups and things like that is because I wanted to force myself to lab it.
Gotcha.
But I'll think about it aloud with you, I guess. Like, okay, so like Lars, what is Lars doing in neutral that is like worth worrying about, right? So down 4-1's pretty decent. Lars players like doing generic down 4 to go into down 4, like to full crouch mix to access that like off of a hitbox.
Right.
He has
Zen bullshit.
Yeah, if he's doing that neutral, that guy's crazy. But yeah, like forward 1+2. He's got hell sweep off forward 4-3. He can use down back 1. So he's got some mid post, a back 1, obviously, counter hit back 4. Jab is decent, 1-2 is decent. He can counter hit with down back 4. So when I think of Marduk, he and I think of L Train especially too. The only thing I'd be concerned about is like down 3ing or down 4ing into his orbital, and then playing out of frame into like 4-4 1+2 or back 4 or something. But L Train, when I play against him, his favorite thing to do is like prediction whiff punish. So he'll create a situation where his single backdash or double backdash will create a whiff, and he'll just do the arc blast, like with that,
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So my counter to L Train is usually I am just playing solid. I'm calculating whiffs with my movement, and I am, playing around the threat that I think is coming, which is usually forward 4 1+2 or honestly, I can't even remember, like some down back 4s, but like I'm not really sweating everything individually because when I play against him, the whiffs will come. So if I'm not exiting a situation that say that we just had some kind of block stun interaction, some kind of hit interaction, or some kind of anything where like we made contact. As long as I'm not pressing into his backdash arc blast whiff punish, I'm not too afraid.
Right.
He's
Because the
not-
down back four is
yeah.
like I feel like you're bound to get clipped by a few.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
eat
so
50 of those as long as none of them are counter hit.
Right. Yeah. for
Right.
sure.
So that, and again, that plays into like the interaction off of a block frame or a hit frame, where it's probably easier for him to find a counter hit down back 4 off of like high crushing something in those situations than just raw in neutral, right? If you guys
Right,
are just
yeah.
moving around in neutral and you go in for a jab and he counter hits that with that or something, like that's crazy. But I don't really see that happening, you know?
I mean that happens more. Okay, that happens a lot online specifically. I think maybe not just for the Lars matchup, but man, I can't tell you how many times I try to come in to check Lee with a jab, but with any character, and the back four that he throws out from fucking range 3 just counter hits me, and I just die
Okay, yeah.
it,
So for
but-
Lee, that's something else. But for
Right.
Lars, the down back 4 isn't really doing that.
right, for
Like if
sure.
a Lars is using down back 4 like Lee back 4, it's easier to punish and play around than Lee doing back 4.
Yes, I could definitely agree with that. All right, cool. Yeah, I think Marduk has a solid matchup. I mean, obviously you said that you're bad with character specifics, but they gave him a 12 frame punish now. I
Yeah,
guess
12 frame
that you
punish is really good against the while standing 2-1, which is nasty now.
Yeah.
Because
And
like
also the lows too. There's the two little
shoe shine.
yeah the shoe shine
Yeah.
is -12, so it's pretty good.
Marduk's backdash probably sets you up too for like first hit shoe shine whiff into low parry the second one, a reaction.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Damn. I actually did not think of that.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes Marduk's so big that he can easily get clipped, but
Yeah,
because he has such a
bare
good
legs.
backdash, it kind of it kind of
Bare legs and backdash, yeah. Also,
It
his
makes
down
it
back
easy.
2 is going to function really well, I think, in the neutral game against Lars. Like, at the ranges where Lars would want a 4-4-1+2, like dash down back 2 is a decent, it's a reason for him to second guess that, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And then,
yeah.
back 4 is also really good. You know, you still have down 4, down 3. So, yeah, L-Train likes to orbital, so you don't want to play heavily into him doing down back 4. I usually prefer playing sidestep right on both of those options, especially because Marduk sidestep right is pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, I was in the lab yesterday testing out some stuff, and it seems like that's the general answer. Especially only after watching your amazing Sen
Oh, thanks, Brett.
video.
Yeah, I think that video is kind of ass now. Like, it's a good default answer, but if they delay their
Yeah.
timing at all, it's rough. But the main thing is off of orbital, and the sidestep right is such a good answer to orbital because it'll whiff, and like you can get lunch before you whiff punish him. You know.
for sure.
Who's your main? Would you say?
Probably now between like Claudio or Shaheen. Those
Mhm.
characters are very, very. I like Shaheen a little bit more because, well, okay. So I'll give you a backstory. I think we've ran into each other a few times. One where I was playing
Yeah, for
Noctis
sure.
and one where I was playing LoL.
I remember
was
you playing
playing
Noctis. So
Yeah, I was playing LoL for a very long time, but I felt like some of LoL's generics weren't doing it for me. You know what I mean?
feel
As
that.
far as like how I like to play, like the down forward one's very stubby, has no range. The down forward 2 is better at keeping people out as opposed to combining with and like movement at the close range like Shaheen's. Shaheen down forward 2 is miles better than LoL's in my opinion, and so is the down forward 1, and so is the slide. So I
Mhm.
kind of started playing Shaheen a little bit more, and I like it because I have a local friend who would kick the shit out of me with Shaheen when I'm playing LoL, and I'm like, damn, wait, I thought LoL was better the better character. Why am I struggling so badly in the close range, and not not being able to, I guess, figure out how to maneuver around Shaheen, and because of that, it kind of like encouraged me to want to play Shaheen more, and since then I've been just playing him and Claudio, and I think that those characters are better for me, but since picking up Marduk, man, I'm playing so little Tekken interactions. I'm just doing shit, and it's working, and it's just it's an easier, more fun. I watched a JDC. I know I'm going off on a tangent right now,
No,
but
you good? You
I
good?
watched a JDCR video a few days ago, and it was about like, I guess somebody went to his chat and asked him, how do you stay so not upset when you take a L in Tekken or whatever? And he just went and he just proceeded to go into ranked and pick Kazuya and just hell sweep and 4-4-3 like mix people all like the entire time.
Right.
He's like, honestly, man, none of this shit matters. You should just take the risk and play how you want to play because like like it works, you win a tournament. It doesn't work, who cares? Like you know, move on type of mentality.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that with Marduk, it's also easy to kind of like force that type of game plan. And you know, more times than not, most of the VTS, you know, down 1+2's hit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, no, they really do. Yeah, okay. So, reason I ask is because back on the improvement question you initially asked, I really enjoy Noctis, and there has maybe been like only one time ever that I was like, I'm not having fun with this character, like in all the time I played him. So I really like the character. The only times I've switched is when somebody would give me advice, thinking it would help me to switch to that character. So like I picked up Kazumi and Shaheen, trying to work on like small Tekken and poking and like keeping an eye out for like micro whiffs and stuff. Because like when I play Noctis, if I play Noctis too much, I stop whiff punishing really small things. Because like down forward 2, like all I can think about is like getting launched. But those characters have helped me kind of like recalibrate, like you know, looking for every whiff, looking for every like opportunity. I played Steve because he needs to find the counter hit timing to kind of blow people up. Like that's kind of his thing. And then he needs to be able to play without finding the counter hit timing, right? So that helped me with Noctis as well. And then recently I learned Kazuya to learn a character that is always going to do something that can probably kill him. So he needs to be hyper aware and keeping an eye out for everything the opponent is doing. So when he chooses his hell sweep, he's pretty confident that they're just going to stand block. When he chooses the electric, he's pretty confident they're doing something besides blocking, right?
Right.
And Kazuya really helped me with that. So when you pick your side characters, I think it's important to decide when you're picking it to win and decide when you're picking it to figure something out, you know?
Right.
And then picking a character to have fun with too is good. So like if you're just playing on Marduk and you're just fucking around and it's working, like that's cool too, you know? It just depends what you're looking for out of what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Marduk is definitely a character that's taught me the importance of not over backdashing, because sometimes you can put yourself out of range to whiff punish.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of trash when you go for a whiff punish and you whiff yourself and you get whiff punished.
Yeah.
It's actually just not optimal. Okay, well, thank you so much, Fidi, for taking the time to just talk the game a little bit. I'm
Sure,
gonna
bro.
go ahead and just get ready for the set later tonight. Hope you have a good rest of your stream, and talk to you soon, man.
Cheers, bro. Let me know how that first attempt goes.
Definitely, for sure. See you, man.
Cheers. Hey, good sesh. I want to record my video, but I don't want to do my hair. My throat is feeling better though. It's about noon. I got a lot done today. What if we do it tomorrow? Is this something I'm gonna be mad at myself for putting off to tomorrow? What do we got tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. When is the party? Wait, there was supposed to be a party. Oh. Party's tomorrow at 7. I could pump out a 3-minute video in a day, no? You be doing your hair? Janver, if I don't, I look like a clown. Look at this shit. If I don't do my hair, I look whack. Hair's too long to not be doing it. But I gotta like straighten it and shit. That's so much work. What do we got going on here? Noctis? Yeah, that's the you would Ved likes to cosplay a new person here. So you can like be like, oh shit, this guy's really cool. Gotta be better phrase for it than doing your hair. I feel like getting pressed about somebody talking about phrasing of me doing my hair is a waste of my energy. Your sister, your mom do your hair because they have hair. I'm not like bald. I don't got short hair. That's what we do. Go get ready. What does that mean? It can mean anything. Suiting up. I'm not changing my clothes. These hair smells like cinnamon. Why are you sniffing my head, Dawn? We're like the same height. That takes effort. You like reach over with your nose. But you do you and your hair. Can't tell that your hair's not done. Yeah, it's because the back of my chair is black. It really shades it in. I think I'm good streaming for now. I'll be back tomorrow. I gotta record this shit. So, Mr. LEDs on your stick shelf. Yeah, we're gonna set that up. We're gonna set that up. We're actually gonna probably do it around the trim of the room, but it's a lot of work. You guys know how I respond to a lot of work needing to be done. So, thanks for checking me out, y'all. I'm gonna send you over to somebody who is doing shit. Got no pants. Planted Medusa. Where is the Tekken category? Where do I sign up for a coaching session? It's so funny. That looking out for me. Appreciate it. Big Nose. Puking D-Dog. NG Wami McConley. I Am Fury. Maniacs Gaming Hub. I Am Nobody with X's. Oh, Maeve. All right. I haven't watched Maeve actually, but Kazumi player, Ved. There you go. Have a good evening, day, y'all. It's actually early. Damn, I got a lot done today. Cheers. All right, peace out, y'all.
Oh, nice. I pressed jab afterwards. Nah, I'm dead. I didn't follow the script.